We shooting now? Okay. Hey, yo. Hey, what's going on, yo? Hey, how far, y'all? Go Richmond, right? That's my team. Hey, what's up, yo? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Juan Lasso, and I'm back with another review. We're gonna review Final Destination 2 today. And hopefully we have a good time doing that. Oh, ridiculous. The stash plays, though. The stash plays. I like a... I'm trying to sell timeshares at a golf resort. I like Waluigi. Oh, God. What up? It's your boy GANJAWEEN, back with another review. Thank you for tuning in to Blazing with Ganja, where we always blazing something amazing. And my favorite show right now is Ted Lasso. So, all right, hold on. God damn it. For today's episode, I can't do this at all. Hold on. God damn it. Better? Alright. What up, y'all? It's your boy GANJAWEEN. Thank you for tuning in to Blazing with Ganja. We always blazing something amazing. And today we are talking about Final Destination 2. This movie came out in 2003. That was my senior year. This shit was crazy. It was all anybody could talk about around school. Everybody had to see this movie, especially after seeing part 1. And you know what's going down on this movie. Everybody thinks this one is an instant classic. If anybody talks about any of the Final Destination movies, they always talk about part 2. Now, the thing about Final Destination 2 that makes it stand out and is a little different from part 1 is the tone. All right, to me, there's a slight variance in tone to where it starts to pick up like a dark comedic aspect, almost even like a tongue-in-cheek aspect, like the movie is winking at you the whole time. It's like, if you love part 1, now we're gonna have a little bit of fun with it, in some regards. And of course, this one opens with, you could say, the best opening of the entire franchise, the car crash opening on the highway. The thing about this opening is, even if you're young and you haven't seen a Final Destination movie, you know about the car crash opening, trust me. So we pick up with a girl named Kimberly this time, which is different from Alex. And I actually hate when they do this. I guess Devin Sawa didn't want to come back for the sequel, so they had an off-camera death for him. She's looking him up on the computer a little bit later in the movie, and it shows you in a Google little thing that he died off camera by getting a brick to the head. Whatever, sucks. But this movie we pick up with Kimberly, and she's actually played by an actress named AJ Cook. Her and her friends are going on a little road trip. I think they're going down to Daytona Beach, Florida. And there's even warning signs before they even go on the trip. Her dad warns her about something. She's leaking oil. The car is messing up. Yeah, there's a lot going on even before they get on a trip. A ton of warning signs that she could look out for, actually, that would warn her not even to go on the trip. So, of course, with those little clues along the way, she has a premonition again, just like Alex on the first one. And this time, her premonition is a big-ass car crash, which actually starts with logs falling off a truck. There's even a little chain swinging. I was actually behind a log truck one time in my life, and it was an actual chain swinging. You know exactly what the hell I did. I pulled right the hell over and got a couple cars behind that nigga. And of course, this is everybody's favorite part of the movie. The cop that's driving behind the log truck, he ain't even paying attention. He's sitting there worried about his coffee, which spills into his lap. And as soon as he looks up, that's when one of the logs breaks off their truck, hits the ground, and the log actually even pushes the cop through the car, out the back of the car. It literally goes through the whole thing. That scene is nuts. And they did that practically. They shot that. It was crazy. not with the actual dude, you know, with the dummy and everything, but just that they shot that, you know, these days we would do the whole thing with CGI. It'd be crazy. And then the whole thing is really just spectacular. There's a guy on a motorcycle that was just played by, T.C. Carson. He was Kyle on Living Single. We all know about that. And he riding a motorcycle. He fall off the motorcycle. The motorcycle ends up sliding into a log and chopping him in half. There's another guy in a Firebird. He's on fire. Another part that always stood out to me, there's a kid. He was playing with water bottles as they were driving down the freeway. And then as they're in the whole, like, crazy collision, his water bottle falls under his mom's foot pedal. So as she's sitting there trying to press the brake, there's a water bottle stuck under her foot. So I'm always worried about, to this day, water bottles in the car. And it's crazy that Final Destination has done that. Just like with the logs across the entire franchise, there are countless things that they hit on just from everyday life that it's like you look twice at now after seeing these movies. That's the signs of a great movie, like things that can stick with you like that. You know what I'm saying? There's probably things like that for our parents and shit, like from the 70s, like Prom Night and shit like that. But so of course, like I said, she has this big premonition, and then she actually, when she comes to, of course, just like we said, her friends don't believe her. She actually even sees signs from her premonition to let her know that the premonition is real. She stops the car. There's a cop that gets out the car. He's played by, what's his name? Michael Landis. I actually like his character. He's a fun actor. He gets out the car to help. As soon as he gets out the car to help, he gets her out the car. Another shocking thing about this movie, a big truck just comes and takes out her friends that she was just about to go on a whole trip with. So now it's just her and the cop standing there. And of course, that was surprising because, I mean, usually in a movie, you think we're with the main characters now. And you know what I'm saying? To see half of the cast get taken out immediately is crazy. But in this movie, the cast is really all of the people that she saves from the accident, all of the other people that were in the premonition that get off the freeway from her warning them. So of course we go through a little bit of the same emotions again. They all get off the freeway. Nobody really believes her. And then this movie kicks into gear very fast. On the first movie, I think it was a month that passed from the premonition to like the first death. This one is right around the corner. We pick up with a character named Evan, and this is hilarious. It's so ironic that he just won the lottery, and now he just got saved from a premonition of a car crash. And when he gets back to his apartment, he has a little fun. I showed my mom this scene. She was like, why the hell did you show me this? This scene is fun as hell, because especially the thing that stands out about this movie is especially the deaths. The day, of course, it's a sequel, so we got to ramp up the deaths. The deaths are really playful on this movie. This movie was actually directed by a guy named David R. Ellis. And he's actually a fun director. He's like a schlock kind of director. So he was perfect to actually come in and change up the franchise a little bit. Evan's death is fun. He's up in his apartment. He comes, and there's a plethora of things that happen in that apartment. Like I said, Death's a little playful in this one. So there's one part where he even puts on a watch and he has a ring, and then the ring goes down the garbage disposal. He actually sticks his hand down the garbage disposal, and then he's turning there trying to pull it out. As he's doing that, the apartment's on fire and everything like that. Long story short, he ends up going out the window as the apartment explodes. As he gets down the fire escape, he slips on some spaghetti that he threw out the window earlier, and then the ladder from the fire escape goes through his eye. Spoilers, I apologize. We talking about Final Destination 2. Movie came out over 20 years ago, my senior year. Let's go. Goes right through his eye. I remember when I was showing this to my mom on DVD. That shit went through his eye. She screamed like, ah, and ran out the room. Why'd you show me that? It was fucking hilarious. It's fucking awesome. All right, so that girl, Kimberly, and the cop, they actually end up researching and finding out that there's one survivor from the year before the flight accident with Alex and everything like that from part 1. Claire Rivers, played by Ali Larter. They go find her, and she's actually checked herself into a mental institution just to protect herself from everybody else so she won't die. Because, you know, like they keep saying, Death has a plan and he's going to come back for you anyway. Blah, blah, blah. That's why I got Alex. They find her to try to get some answers, to try to get help. She turns them away because she don't want to die, blah, blah, blah. She come out eventually. You know she gonna come out. In between there, we have another great death. The kid from earlier and his mom, they go to a dentist, which is a fun scene because he's sitting there. A dentist's office is great for a movie like this because there's a ton of things in a dentist's office that could go wrong. Just like him sitting in the chair, getting the gas and way too much gas, and the doctor leaves the room and he's sitting there about to pass out. Then something falls in his mouth, about to choke him and shit. Then the nurse finally saves him. That scene is great. Then the icing on the cake. She has a premonition that he's gonna be killed by pigeons. As the kid and his mom are walking out that office, Kim Walker running up with the cop, running them about pigeons, which are in front of the kid. The kid runs towards the pigeons, trying to swat them. There's some construction going on outside. A big pane of glass falls and smushes this kid. That fucking scene is great. I remember the reaction it got in the theater. Everybody jumped out and screamed and shit. Just like on part one with Terry's death with the bus, it was another great death. Plus, I had never, up until that point, seen a kid. It was so unexpected. I'd never seen a kid die on a movie. That shit was fucking awesome. It was hilarious. Plus, the death was great. It was practical. The way he folded back, that's the best part about it. So, of course, at this point, Claire comes and finds them. To find more answers, they go to Bloodworth, which is Tony Todd's character from part one. Tony Todd is always great. Anything you put him in, he's creepy. So when they go see Bloodworth, he gives them some mumbo jumbo about, with all death brings new life. So, okay, I think they take that to mean the girl that was pregnant in the car crash, if she has the baby, that'll start new life and restart the whole plan. Yeah, which leads to another aspect that I like about this movie is that they start to be proactive about this whole thing. They gather everybody for a meeting and let them know everything that's going on and that there's even a plan in the first place, that death is coming after them. Kimberly even hands out cell phones and shit like, hey, if I call you and say this, get to safety, blah, blah, blah. And none of it works, but it's just is cool that they actually try this time. Because they even end up finding out that the plan is working backwards because they're not dying in the order that they would have died in the car crash. This time, like I said, everybody's dying backwards. But then they even find out that death is actually cleaning up his plan from the first one, because each person on this movie that got out of the crash was actually connected to a person from the first one. They would have died in the first place if the other people hadn't died the first time. It's crazy. You gotta watch the movie. So after the meeting, and another great death, which is the lady in the elevator. Man with hooks, man with hooks. Her head gets chopped off in the elevator. It's pretty awesome. It actually reminds me of that death off of Resident Evil Part 1. They're all in the car, then the car goes all crazy, and they have a little crash, but then there's a couple, like, it is a 2-in-1 death one, this one. There's a girl, and her legs get pinned in the car, and then actually fire and rescue are helping her, and then the dumbass fucking fire and rescue man hits the car and releases the airbag, which sends her head into a fucking PVC pipe right through her head, and it's actually pretty cool. Her cigarette falls, and then, like I said, it's these traps, and then, like, everything that happens, which is crazy. Like, seeing all the setups for, like, this falls into this, and into that, into this, it's awesome. That's the standout thing about the franchise that sets it apart. Her cigarette falls into some oil, which causes big ass explosion, which causes some goddamn metal fencing to go through another character, which is actually Jonathan Cherry, who is playing Rory, and he's just perfect in this movie. Jonathan Cherry and horror, just like when the first one, Devin Sawa and horror, they just go hand in hand. The fence goes through him in several places. He actually slices half in like 3 places. The death is crazy. Like I said, the deaths on this movie are just phenomenal. After all of this goes down, they realize that they have to still save Isabella, because Kimberly has another vision of some doctor named like Dr. Kovarkian and something like that, because they think that the doctor is going to kill Isabella. So they have to rush to the hospital. And I'm not going to lie to you, the end of this movie to me is a little messy, because like they have to get to the hospital to rescue Isabella. The other character, T.C. Carson's playing, he was hurt in a car crash. So he's on a floor by himself, and some things are going on with him to where his life support is being pulled away and everything like that, but it's just being pulled away by nothing. It would seem like nothing. Of course, it's death, but like I said, it's just a little far-reaching. Like at this point in time, like certain things are just starting to like, and the whole thing bends reality. Do not get me wrong, but it's like at some point in time you start reaching. They go try to find the doctor. She ends up like realizing that it's not actually the doctor that's gonna kill Isabella. Isabella has the baby because Isabella was never in the car crash in the first place, so it has nothing to do with her. Kim was actually getting visions that she needs to kill herself, blah, blah, and that the doctor's actually going to bring her back, and that's actually going to throw the whole plan out of whack. So she actually ends up doing that. It happens, but at the same time, TC dies along with Ali Larder. Like I said, the whole thing is just the end, like that last little 10 minutes, it just feels rushed. It's weird. I don't mind this movie. I actually think it's a great sequel. It's just that last little 10 minutes just feels rushed of the finale. But yeah, like I said, they actually get out the plane. The cop and the girl make it. And I think actually this is the only Final Destination movie where people make it out for real. Because like I said, on the first one, even after the movie, it doesn't count. But you can say he came back and killed Alex. And then on this movie, he comes back and killed Claire. So the cop and Kimberly, they're the only two that really make it out of the franchise. And then at the very end, for a little stinger, there was a kid. I think he was played by like Noah Fisher. During the middle of the movie, during the car crash, he was actually gonna get hit by an ambulance, and the cop actually pulls him out the way to save him. Which death just skipped him, even though he was pulled into this. So the very last shot of the movie, they're all at a cookout with the kid's family for some reason. And he's grilling in the background on the grill, and the grill explodes, and then his arm lands in front of the mom, and she starts screaming. I think rock music starts playing, and that's exactly what I mean by like this movie being tongue-in-cheek. It's like I said, the movie's winking at you a little bit, but it's fun. This movie was great, especially to see it senior year. This movie was all anybody could talk about. Like I said, with the car crash and everything like that, all the deaths. We got back to school. I'm talking about for like 2 or 3 months straight. Final Destination was everywhere. Final Destination 2 is a great sequel. And you can say a classic to a classic. But as always, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Final Destination 3 is coming soon. Ganjaween has been fun. Join me for the next costume, the next Ganjaween video. We're doing this for the rest of October. Get with me. Peace. Like and subscribe. I tell you what, at the end, if they don't like and subscribe, that'd be worse than eating fish sticks from a vending machine. Have your stomach sound like a Hans Zimmer video.